Welcome, UUSS. Good morning. If you weren't already awake, you are now. Please rise and join in singing. We're going to sit at the welcome table.
Good morning and welcome. Welcome to our Sunday service. Whether you are with us on Zoom or here in the room, we are glad you're here. I am Roger Jones, pleased to serve as one of the co-ministers of this congregation. And my colleague, the Reverend Lucy Bunch, is with family this weekend and will be back in the office this coming week. With me today are our worship associate, Don Huebner, Renee and Ted Scott-Femenella, our members, and their children, Theo and Selene. And this is a service honoring, learning about, celebrating Kwanzaa, which began just 3 days ago. And I'm very happy that we are being invited to this table, to this Kwanzaa table. We are very happy about our musicians, Boynarr and Tsavo, who just gave us the call to worship on percussion. Anthony is our music director, and we are grateful to our member, Courtney O'Neill, who is at the piano today. The mission of this congregation says, we come together to deepen our lives and be a force for healing in the world. Toward this end, we honor the Nishanan, Southern Maidu, and Miwok peoples for their commitment to this land where UUSS exists. They have never ceded, left, nor ceased to care for this land. We hope to get to know you. We hope that you will stay after the service for a conversation and tea and coffee, which will be served in the welcome hall. And there will be 22 minutes of time in a breakout room if you're with us on Zoom, so you can get acquainted with one another. If you are new to UUSS, we extend a special welcome to you. Please fill out a newcomer's card, either using the link on our website or at the welcome table outside after the service, outside these doors. That will enable us to connect with you. Our weekly message email comes to you by email every Friday, and you can find previous ones posted on the website. If you'd like to follow the music, read the names of the musicians and the music, and see other parts of our beautiful, colorful order of service, you can pick that up on the back table. If you're with us on Zoom, you can click on the website. And the blue sheet calendar, which should be inserted in your order of service, also on the website, includes upcoming activities for this week and future weeks. And I just have a few highlights from the blue sheet. If you missed the class on exploring Unitarian Universalism before the service last Sunday, it will be repeated on Zoom the first Tuesday evening of January, which is the 7th. and Reverend Lucy will be leading that exploring class. You can join it through uuss.org/online. Our church office will be closed through New Year's Day and will open on the 2nd. Any year-end contributions made electronically or checks dated by the 31st will be credited for this closing calendar year. Join us for the annual Labyrinth Walk on New Year's Day, guided by Reverend Lucy Bunch. It will be outside in our meadow, so dress warmly, and bring a potluck breakfast item so that we can get together after the walk. We'll be in the welcome hall for that, and that will start at 9 a.m. New Year's Day. Speaking of special observances, in addition to being the 5th day of Christmas and the middle of the observance of Kwanzaa, this is the beginning. In this particular year, the Jewish festival of lights known as Hanukkah happened to fall on Christmas night, and this evening will be the 5th night of the 8-night observance of Hanukkah, which is why you see 5 candles on the menorah in addition to the helper candle. Every night, lighting one more candle on the menorah, Jewish families and friends commemorate the story of the miracle of the oil, which lasted beyond normal expectations. Now is audience participation time, which means you get to turn off your cell phones or your smartwatches or anything else that might make noise or just be distracting during the service. And while you check your devices, I have a few words about our circle service today, when all ages are together for the whole service. Today we're inviting parents and grandparents or other guardians and their children to sit together in the service. And it's understandable that sometimes people can feel restless after a time of sitting or get a case of the wiggles, and if that happens, you are welcome to move around the room as you need to. You are welcome to escort your family to the welcome hall where you can hear the service, or even to a table in the welcome hall where you can watch it on the flat screen TV. But I want to remind you that we will be inviting children to help today in the collection of the offering in a few minutes. And also in a few minutes there will be a time of prayer when we will create silence together, and we'll let you know when that happens. As with any service, if you can't hear well or if you're distracted where you are sitting, you may move around to a different location around the sanctuary. And this is one of the ways that we embody being a community of all ages and stages of life. Thank you for being here as we do this. Now let's receive the music for centering.
morning. I'm Dawn Huebner, your worship associate for today. We already have various lights illuminating and adding beauty to this space, and we're about to add one more. Edra will be our chalice lighter in the sanctuary, while those of you on Zoom might want to prepare to light your own chalice at home. The flaming chalice represents our Unitarian Universalist religious movement. The kindling of the chalice here reflects our connection to the congregations across the country and around the world. Please join me in a responsive reading. On this new morning, we open our senses to the beauty of this world, and we open our hearts to the gift of a new day. As Unitarian Universalists, we honor the interdependent web of all existence. With reverence. We draw inspiration from a religious heritage of freedom, reason, hope, and courage, building on the foundation of love. We covenant to learn from one another in our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. We covenant to dismantle racism and all forms of systemic oppression. We work to be a diverse, multicultural, beloved community where all can thrive. We declare that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion. May we learn together to cultivate more empathy and respect. May we find the courage to speak up and show up for the values we hold in common. Now, as we prepare to kindle the chalice, let us speak together the words of our mission as a congregation. We come together to deepen our lives and be a force for healing in the world.
Thank you, Edra. This is a community of care, compassion, and celebration, and we practice this in our time of joys and sorrows. You can let the ministers know of your news by clicking on the link in the weekly message email that's posted on Fridays, or you can let us know directly if you, and when doing that or emailing us, you can let us know if you would like it spoken about in a service. We have a number of sorrows and concerns to mention today. Our member Jan Kelly has let us know that her daughter Angela is undergoing cancer surgery on Monday, tomorrow. And Jan asked for prayers for Angie to recover well and quickly. And given the loss of Angie's older sister to cancer 3 years ago, Jan also seeks prayers for strength for the whole family at this time. Our member John Peterson has been in the hospital for just over a week and has been diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor. John is receiving palliative care and will be receiving hospice care in a residential program. When I saw him on Friday, he was able to speak more than he could at first, though sometimes he was a bit confused. But he spoke with care about UUSS and with fondness for all his friends here. Sybil Lawson, his beloved stepdaughter, and also a member of the congregation, is coordinating support for John. And we send our wishes for strength to John and our affection for his enthusiasm and friendship. Tomorrow will be the memorial service for our member Lee Maxey. It will be at 1 o'clock. and in the Rose Arbor Village. And then the service for Rose Nel Senador will be next Saturday at 10 a.m. here at UUSS. We also extend our condolences to our member, Mary Moon. Mary's brother, David, passed away on the 18th of December at age 83. He was surrounded by his family at home in Berkeley. David Moon worked most of his career as an assistant district attorney in San Francisco. He was a cross-country and champion relay runner and later ran Ironman courses. We extend our love and condolences to our member Dennis Hubbard and his family on the death of his wife, Elizabeth Pataki, on Christmas Eve. She was 86. Elizabeth was diagnosed just in November with advanced lymphoma. Elizabeth was a cardiac nurse and a healthcare activist through her Nurses Association well into retirement. We extend our condolences also to their children, Bruce, Barry, Heather, and Jonathan Hubbard, and grandchildren, and Elizabeth's sister and her in-laws. And one more loss to mention, we extend our love and condolences to our member Janet Lopes and her family on the passing of her father, Jerry Lopes, on December 20, in the care of his family at home. Jerry was a local music teacher and a professional musician. Many of us here know him as the founding director of the Capitol Pops Concert Band. His service will be here on the 1st of February. I know there are other people on our hearts. I also know that there are reasons for joy among us, occasions for gratitude. And I want to recognize that and lift those up. For those who are traveling, we wish them safe journeys. For those receiving visitors or visiting others, we wish for nourishing interactions. I invite you to center with me, center in your breathing, noticing the air coming into your body, pausing and noticing the air going out naturally and noticing it naturally. And notice your body where it is making contact with furniture or a floor. Notice the contact it's making with what is sustaining your body. And as we continue being present to our breathing, present to one another, please join me in the spirit of prayer as I offer these words. O Spirit of life and love, sustain us on this day and in the days to come. Bless all those whom we remember on this day and all those we are holding in our hearts. Give us patience and serenity when we need it, and help us to keep our hearts open. Help us to bear witness to the need for peace and liberation for so many members of the human family in so many places around this world. Give us the courage to not turn away. As a new calendar year approaches, we lift up our wishes and we lift up our values. Let our fears not overcome our strength, especially the strength we have in solidarity. May we all remember that hope is not merely a feeling, but a choice and a way of living and acting. In the days to come, let our hopes rise anew as we remember our connections to community, to ancestors, to nature, to all beings, and to life which is ever abundant. Help us to notice reasons for gratitude every single day. Enliven us to the ordinary miracle of being alive. So may it be. Blessed be, and amen. Now let us pause for a few moments of silence together. Blessed be. As I said after the first hymn, we are being invited to a new table today, to this Kwanzaa table or altar. I'm curious, raise your hand if you have ever participated in or witnessed a Kwanzaa observance before. Thank you. Today we have offering this service our members Ted and Renee Scott-Femenella. Ted is one of the co-leaders of our men's group, and Renee is a member of our art committee, and together they are co-leaders or co-facilitators of one of our Soul Matters groups. And we have their children, their adult children, Selene and Theo, who will be offering reflections on the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, which you can see printed in the order of service, and you can also see lovely art in there, which Renee has made. And we will also have some more music from Tsavo and Boynarr. We're really happy to have you here again. And Ted will begin with some history, and then Renee will invite people to see the altar.
Good morning. It's wonderful to look out and see our community and so many of our beloved friends and family here, new family and old family. It's a pleasure to see my mother and my father here. Hi. So, by way of some history, in our family, we have celebrated and observed Kwanzaa, I would say, close to 25 years, which is the vast majority of both of our adult children's lives. By way of some background, Kwanzaa was thought to be first observed in 1966. And by way of some context, many of you may have remembered how tumultuous the 60s were. There were a number of events, the Watts Revolution, the revolution in Detroit, and other places that spoke out loud the quiet verses of Martin Luther King and the members of the original civil rights group. Kwanzaa itself was a holiday, was an observance which was brought together by a professor at CSU Long Beach by the name of Maulana Karenga, also known as Ron Karenga. And Dr. Karenga really wanted to find a way that ordinary families could pull together and could observe the grace and the sanctity and the experience of the African continent. Kwanzaa itself, without the double A at the end, is actually a Swahili word, which means first, and it probably means first as in first harvest, since some aspect of Kwanzaa is celebrated throughout Africa. Kwanzaa is a Pan-African celebration. It does not take the place of Christmas or New Year's, but it's a separate celebration that actually all can share in. It was designed as a way for African American families and Pan-African families throughout the entire African diaspora worldwide to come together as a family and as a community in strength and in love to share the solemnness of community, of family, of hope. Blessings to all of you on this Kwanzaa.
Hello. Hi. I get to be with the kids because that's in my wheelhouse. Can I invite the children to come up and see the altar with me? Can I invite you to come and see it? You can do it. Come on. I have stickers. Okay, yeah, I know. You want to come, don't you? Okay, and so I am going to ask that Maggie and Nora give out some stickers when you come up, because part of Kwanzaa is gifts. Can you guys grab some and give some out? So, all right, so let me just show you what's on this altar, okay? We lit the candles already, but I'm just going to show you. Maybe you could help me by holding things up for me. Hi, Edra. Yay. Okay, so it's first fruits. And so you can see I have a bunch of fruit back in here. So what we do in our family is, oh, you want to give them to the grown-ups too? Okay, I think there's enough. We have a kinara in the center. And so every single day, 7 days, so here, you hold up the candle for me, honey? Will you hold it up? You don't have to light it or anything. So on the first day of Kwanzaa, and then here, Edra, will you hold this one for me? Here, you hold this one, okay? And turn around and show people. It says, Umoja. So, and it's the black candle for unity. So Theo and Selene are going to tell you about that in just a little bit, all right? So I'm not going to go into each one, but we do light a candle, and we sit at the table. And when the kids were really little or younger, I would print out photographs of things that they would do during the year, so that when we talked about umoja, unity, the things that they were doing to help other people in their community, in their schools, etc. So they would see pictures of themselves, and we would talk about it. And then the next day, another candle would come. Okay, you want to hold something too? Can you hold something? Can you hold this for me, Luch? Okay, so that is a chalice. Kwanzaa has it. Can you show people? Just hold it up, okay? Kwanzaa has a chalice. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it has so when we eat together our family meals, then we share from the same cup. Okay? So you can see that there's fruit. Corn is for the kids. Can you show them a corn? Show them a corn. There. Corn is for the kids. Can you show them a mat? And that is like the grass of the earth, okay? Right? And then I already showed you the fruit. And they gave out the zawadi, the gifts. That comes on the very last night of Kwanzaa. So, would you do me a favor? Would you go put these on the altar so they can hold them up there? Okay. Right up there for Theo and Selene. You can give them. Yeah, there you are. Okay. Give them up there. Okay, so with that, thank you so much. You can go back. Did you get a sticker for yourself? I hope. Uh-oh. If you didn't, I can find another one somewhere. So with that, Theo and Selene are going to share Naguzo Saba, Swahili for the 7 guiding principles. Thank you. Oh, okay.
This one's good. Habari Gani, grand risings and blessings. I want to do a little call and response in the African tradition. So when I say umoja, I just want you to repeat it back to me. Umoja. 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 Umoja stands for, gotcha. Umoja stands for unity. Unity is the first principle in Kwanzaa. It is the black candle right here, and it's the first night. It is the center. In Senegal, they say Nyokobok. Nyokobok means village, the village mindset. You know, when I was in Senegal traveling, you would be surprised, but I did not see any homeless people sleeping on the streets. The culture is different, where folks recognize we are all one village. and we leave no one behind. Unity is the utmost important principle for us to practice and to live right now in the state of the world that we're living in. So many of us are left behind. So many of us are suffering. Right here, our neighbors, people next to us even, suffering in silence. And these people do not deserve to be left alone, for these are our people. And we cannot give in to the culture that's often found in the Western world of individualism, where we all have our own set of problems, like we can't help each other solve them. So, Umoja is a call to unity and solidarity with our peoples. And not just here, our peoples in the Congo, our peoples in Sudan, our peoples in Palestine, our peoples in Tigray. All peoples that I mentioned are undergoing brutal genocides by colonial forces and just experiencing so much cruelty in silence. You'll never really read much about it on the news, right? These are the people that I'm asking you to be in unity with today and in solidarity with today, as well as our people here, the Black people and Native American people on Turtle Island, who still, to this day, after 500 years, are suffering from the oppression of colonialism and fascism. So, I'm gonna close out this portion of our values, and when I say Umoja and you repeat it back to me, I want you to just take a moment of silence to reflect, how can I show and be more in solidarity and in unity with our people who have been left behind here and abroad throughout the world. Umoja.
Grand Rising. So the second day of Kwanzaa, I'm going to make sure I don't butcher it. It's Kujichagulia. It means self-determination. This is the red candle. So it is to define ourselves, to name ourselves, create for ourselves, and to speak for ourselves. Going outward from unity into the macro, turning inwards, I would say for myself, self-determination of spirit. An example in my life, I was taking volunteer photos at my brother's work. He works at the Creation District for unhoused youth on J Street. It's a great place. They held a winter ball, so I was taking some photos for them, and my parents were bombarding my phone with photos from my childhood from 15 years ago that I had forgotten about, of me taking photos at one of my mom's school's winter events as a volunteer, as a little elf, and 15 years later, here I was doing it again. Self-determination of spirit. I may have forgotten my love of film and photography, took a break from it for a while, but I am joining the group of, later graduates and rejoining my passion and having the self-determination to see that through for myself. So I ask you all to take a moment in silence and think about what self-determination may look like for you in your lives. Stay tuned.
We'll do another call and response. Ujima. Ujima. Ujima stands for collective work and responsibility. It's the third principle. Ujima to me represents, once we know within our hearts that our people are out there, we have a responsibility to them, to our village, to extend our love and our compassion to our peoples. And we do that in the smallest ways. Compassion can be a small gesture, it can also be a grand gesture. But the most important thing is to keep your people in your heart. We all practice Ujima differently, but we have to just remember that we have privilege, and we have the privilege to help give a hand up in ways that others cannot. And so part of Ujima, part of that responsibility is recognizing the ways where we do have the freedoms and the liberties to help others, whether that's financial freedoms, the freedom of time, the freedom of health, to support those who don't have those freedoms and to support those who don't have those privileges. So take a moment to think beyond what you do in your day-to-day life for yourselves. If there's any way that you can step up a little more, take on the responsibility of caring for your village and for your people who might have been left behind. I'll say once more, and I hope you respond, Ujima.
This is a Melanie DeMore tune. We'd be familiar with her in particular for our regular incorporation of Lead with Love. You gotta hold everybody. You gotta hold everybody up. You gotta hold everybody. You gotta hold everybody up, hold everybody up, 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 hold everybody up, up, hold everybody up, up, hold everybody up. You gotta hold everybody, you gotta hold everybody up, you gotta hold everybody. You gotta hold everybody up, hold everybody up, up, hold everybody up, up, hold everybody up, up, hold everybody up. Just because you look like you and I look like me, doesn't mean we can't be friends. You're not my enemy. You gotta hold everybody. You gotta hold everybody up. You gotta hold everybody. You gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up, up, hold everybody up, up, hold everybody up, up, hold everybody up. People all around the world sometimes feel so sad, but when others show they care, then things won't be so bad. You gotta hold everybody, gotta hold everybody up, gotta hold everybody, you gotta hold everybody up, hold everybody up, up, hold everybody up, up, hold everybody up, up, hold everybody up.
Great example of cooperation. Day 4 of Kwanzaa, we are at Ujama, still with the red candle here, which is today, actually. So it is cooperative economics. It is to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses to profit from them together. So it literally means familyhood. It's about generosity, reciprocity, supporting each other, sharing wealth. I would definitely say spending with intention, making sure that we support local. When I was little, we would go to Queen Sheba, which is a great restaurant still around, Ethiopian restaurant, supporting local. At work, I would also support and provide lists of other businesses around Sacramento, Black-owned. I would encourage all of you to do the research, perhaps take some time to educate yourself, uplift yourself and others around you. And yeah, just incorporate at least one new business into your, daily economic habits there in the spirit of Ujamaa. So, thank you.
As we prepare for our offering, I invite children who want to participate to make their way towards the back and find an usher to work with. Generosity is a spiritual practice. This congregation has a practice of giving away half of every Sunday's offering to an organization that's working to make a difference in the world. Our community partner for the month of December is Family Promise. Family Promise helps local communities coordinate their efforts to address the root causes of family homelessness, addressing the issue holistically by providing shelter and case management, and then support once families have secured housing to ensure that they remain independent. Families come to Family Promise in crisis, and Family Promise helps them rebuild their lives by teaching new skills and providing ongoing support. As always, thank you for your generosity to UUSS and to our community partner. This morning's offering will now be given and received. As the ushers bring the basket forward, please join in speaking our unison words of hope. May generosity bless our world, and may gratitude nourish our spirits.
The fifth principle, Nia. Can you say that with me? Nia. Nia. Nia means purpose. It's the purpose that we all have. In indigenous beliefs, our purpose here as humans is to be guardians of Mother Earth, to be guardians of each other, the keepers of light, the keepers of love. We are ones who can shape our environments in such a way that we can bring harmony to entire ecosystems. And if only we could harness that same power for ourselves socially. I know for myself, when I think about my purpose here is to love and be loved. It's to uplift. And it's to open my heart in ways that one could never even imagine. Only through experience, right? Experiencing the beauty of this life. And so I want you to reflect a little bit on your purpose here, not just as a human being, but as you, the one of one that you are in this world. For just like every single living thing on this beautiful planet, we all have our place in the ecosystem. We all have a purpose. Just like the bees pollinate the flowers and the trees breathe CO2 back into our lungs or take it in from our lungs and give us oxygen. We all have that same purpose. So don't be mistaken. I'll say it one more time and then I want you to think about for yourself, what is your purpose here? Nia.
Day 6, we are at the green candle for Kuumba. And I will do a call and response for this one. Can you guys say Kuumba? Kuumba is creativity. It is to always do as much as we can in the way that we can in order to leave the community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it. Kind of like camping, right? The rules. Leave it better than when you came. I would definitely say for creativity in my life, my brother has been one of my biggest inspirations, Tsavo. With the music that he makes, he's very intentional with the messages that he wants to put out into the world. Going back to school as a filmmaker, I had the privilege of directing a documentary on him called Tsavo and the Two Wolves, highlighting that battle of duality with the self with a focus on healing and uplifting others, the people on our earth. I would definitely say my personal goals with film is to connect people, not to distract. I would encourage you all to move with intention. May love be at the forefront of all that you do. And please take a moment to reflect on how creativity can enhance the lives around you in your own life and every day that you pursue. Thank you, guys.
Day 7. Day 7. Can you hear me? Okay. This day is called Imani. Can you say that? Imani. This is the final principle which emphasizes the importance of faith in oneself, in others, and in the struggle for a better world. As we light the last green candle, we lift up all African people's struggle throughout the world and in a struggle for a better world. We recognize the suffering in this country, as has been stated by my son, as well as in all the countries, whether it be Ukraine, whether it be Africa, whether it be Haiti. We have something to give, and we should not be locked away in our personal silos in this beautiful sanctuary, but be willing to spread our love and our commitment outwards as well as inwards. Imani is also a belief in our own strength when it appears that we have none left. It draws upon the best of ourselves and helps us to strive for a higher level of life for all mankind, all humankind. As Unitarian Universalists, reflect on ways you will commit to Imani faith, creating a better world. As I read our closing prayer, which was written by Tsavo. Prayers of faith. Let the waters of justice, peace, and love flow onto every shore in every vibrant and oppressed land on Earth Mother. May we give our tears back to the waves, cleansed by the salt water of sacred ocean, whose fluid life courses through the blood in our veins. Great Spirit, our beloved ancestors, sweet angels, wise old guides, shelter us and our future generations from unnecessary suffering. Fortify us for the hardships to come. Show us the way. Send us your love. Ashe. Here is our Kwanzaa, which is Swahili for Happy Kwanzaa.
Thank you, Ted and Renee, and Selene, and Theo, and thank you, Boynarr, and thank you for Tsavo. Tsavo is Theo's name as an artist, and we'll now have our final celebration.
As we prepare to extinguish the chalice, please join in speaking our shared intention. We extinguish this flame, but we carry the light, love, and commitment of this gathering into the days to come.
I invite everybody up here to rise, and I invite everybody here to reach out to us as we reach out to you. You can rise too. Reach out to us as we reach out to you. If you're at home, we're reaching out to you, so please reach back out to us. May you depart in peace and be led forth in joy. Please repeat after me, phrase by phrase. May faith in the Spirit of life.
May faith in the Spirit of life.
Hope for the community of earth.
Hope for the community of earth.
And love of the sacred in ourselves and one another.
And love of the sacred in ourselves and one another.
Be ours now and in all the days to come.
Be ours now and in all the days to come.
Blessed be.